Congresswoman Maxine Waters of Los Angeles has been cheering on the harassment of Trump administration cabinet members. Today, the president struck back by tweeting this, quote, "Crazy Maxine Waters, said by some to be the most corrupt person in politics, rapidly becoming, together with Nancy Pelosi, the face of the Democrat Party. Her ranting and raving, even referring to herself as a wounded animal, will make people flee the Democrats!" Exclamation point. Is that true? Fox chief political analyst Brit Hume joins us tonight. Brit, it does seem like there is a realignment going on the left. Something momentous is happening in the Democratic Party. What do you think it is?
Well, the Democratic Party has been moving left for a long time, and it is being tugged to go that way even more at the moment by some of the developments within the party. The sheer force of the never Trump, anti-Trump movement in the Democratic Party has had that effect. It is all systems are go for doing everything you can to resist Trump. Maxine Waters is a voice in that. And that is where we are. And of course, you had the election in New York City last week of a out-and-out socialist with lots of radical ideas that found favor among those constituents. She will be a voice in the party. She's an attractive young candidate, very well spoken. She has a good story to tell. So these people are a factor in the life of the Democratic Party as we are seeing it today, Tucker.
So the argument against Trump that Democrats are trying to make is he's scary and radical. Now the Republicans, if they're smart, by no means a foregone conclusion, but let's say they are, they could say, yeah, maybe Trump's radical. But he doesn't want to abolish ICE or abolish borders or abolish profits or abolish the family. You're even scarier.
Yeah, well,
can they do that? Can Republicans flip it around?
Well, that's exactly what Mr. Trump's tweet represented, and it was pretty straightforward in the words of the tweet itself. You know, he was saying that Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi, two of the most controversial and, if the polls are correct, unpopular figures within the Democratic Party, are now the face of that party. That's pretty, that's pretty straightforward hardball politics. But that's what you do. You try to associate a party with its most unattractive, politically unattractive elements. That's what he's trying to do there. And he's got some ammunition to work with now, courtesy of the party itself and some of its leading members.
So I don't agree with Chuck Schumer's politics, but I think of Schumer as definitely a smart person. I don't think he's a radical. He's not a radical, personally. Why wouldn't Chuck Schumer call over to Nancy Pelosi or call over to the congresswoman who's going to represent the 14th district after the election and say, cool it down a little bit? Well, yeah, why wouldn't he do that? Apparently not.
He did express his disagreement with Maxine Waters in her advocating the continuing harassment of Trump officials in public places. I'm sure he's a seasoned politician, and I'm sure he's uncomfortable with this. But remember, this is the party in which he has to live and operate. And he's got to find a way to accommodate the huge and energetic element within the Democratic Party who are bent on the destruction of the Trump presidency with trying to do some responsible politics that won't alienate all of the rest of the country. So that's not an easy job. I think he's got a tough job ahead of him.
I mean, can you imagine a day where conservatives, maybe a year from now, are pining for the Chuck Schumer era? If only we had reasonable statesmen like Chuck Schumer. I mean, it seems like things are accelerating to the point where we might want Chuck Schumer to have more power than he has.
Well, maybe, but I mean, a lot of this has to look. If the Democrats continue to pursue the agenda of its most left elements, they're going to have trouble at the ballot box. And it isn't going to matter particularly whether Chuck Schumer remains in the leadership or somebody else, because, this hoped for blue wave that the Democrats were confidently predicting only a few months ago may very well not materialize. The Republicans could continue to have control of both houses as well as the White House, and the Democrats will be in the desert, as they to some extent are now. And that's really what's at stake here.
I predict that abolish ICE is not a winning campaign slogan.
No, of course it's not. It's a crazy idea, but you got enough people saying it within the party that are people that have to be reckoned with, that it's going to be pretty hard for them to shed that label that comes out of that.
It's amazing. It's unbelievable. Brit Hume, thank you. Great to see you.
You bet. Yeah, you too, Tucker.